If there is something that you have been wanting and it is not in your or making its way into your reality in a steady way, then there's only one reason for that. It's because you're noticing the fact that it's not here. You're more focused on the absence of your desire than the presence. And yet it's like a stick with two sides of it. You could be practicing the presence of it, but the absence is so enamoring. The absence is so here right now in this reality. And yet that's your job. Your job is to take a step back away from this reality and understand that this reality truly is not the reality that you want to give all of your attention to. You want to give some of your attention to this vibrational reality, this reality that this physical reality has caused you to create and become. And all of your emotions are tied to that. You know, when we say that your desires are here right now, we really mean it. We mean that your desires are here right now, but they're here vibrationally. They're here vibrationally. And so that's very easy to say because when we're talking about the laws of the universe, we're talking about the laws of the universe, meaning they're fixed, they're theoretical. But when we talk about specifics, maybe about your life or about the things that you have been wanting, that's where things really have to come into practice. And so the theory is not enough, but the theory has to be enough because the law of attraction is enough. And all you have to do is feel good. All you have to do is think feeling good thoughts. But that's an art form, because how do you feel good when so much of the reality around you does not reflect anything that you can feel good? Because humans are trained to do that. You love just lazily staring at whatever is around you and just observing reality. You know, creating by default is truly not what anyone came here to do, and yet everyone gets trained into doing it. You know, when you walk into the room, you're not asking yourself how you want to feel. You're just walking into the room, and whatever is there, and you just react to whatever is in front of you, and you react and you latch on, or you offer all of your vibration, or you harmonize with the largest signal, the person who's speaking the loudest, the person whose opinions are the loudest, and who uses the most force and the most action. Their opinions are the ones who you harmonize with. And your emotions are your way out of all that, because when you care about how you feel, then you care about how you feel. You're like, well, I can't feel bad anymore because I know what it means. Do you know that you're source energy in this body? Of course you do. You have to look around and you understand that, because there's so much more to the story than your physical being. And yet that's exactly what's going on. You're more than your body. You are the source energy. And every time you want something, it becomes a reality. It is given, but at first it's given in the vibrational realm. It's given vibrationally first. And it's interesting when we say vibrationally first, because that translates to human as, okay, well, it's not here yet. It's not here yet. So I gotta do some things to make it come. But we're saying, well, if your work is about making it come, then it's not here and you're activating the absence of it. You're offering the absence of it. Most of your attention is on the absence. How do you get a way around that? And we talked about this vibrational grid, which is your point of attraction, which is this vibrational climate that you can set instead of letting life set it for you, instead of letting life tune your vibration. You're going out, getting out ahead of it, and you're tuning your vibration. You're choosing how you're going to feel. You're choosing how you're going to feel, and that's your power. It's your ability to choose how you feel, because when you choose how you feel, you're choosing your channel, you're choosing your emanation, and the vibration that you emanate is literally your point of attraction. We're not even kidding you. It's your point of attraction. It's exactly what you're going to get back, and what you get back and how you felt before it are always a match. You're translating vibration at all rates of frequencies, at all rates of speed. This is what's going on. You're translating vibrations with your eyes, your ears, your fingers, everything into your five senses. But what about your translation of vibration that comes through your solar plexus, which is your emotions? What about your emotions? Because when we talk about your desires being here, we mean they're really here. Like, they're here right now, and they're vibrationally here, and all you have to do is tune to it. They're subtle right now, but they're here, because you can't talk about or feel or reach for the feeling and feel the presence of your desire and talk about the absence at the same time. You can't. And so maybe you're like, okay, well, I understand law of attraction. So you do processes, you script, you talk about why you want it. And even in doing that, you get the grid going. You're like, okay, I understand the grid. I understand that all I have to do is think a thought for 17 seconds and not mess it up with resistance, because law of attraction will parlay that thought into bigger and bigger momentum. So that thought catches speed. That's exactly what happens. And then you're like in the vortex, and then you're like, well, now what? Because I feel good, but where's my desire? And then we're like, well, here's the thing, is that your desire is here. And you're like, well, I don't see it. I haven't seen it for years. No one around me has seen it. Everyone agrees with me. No one sees it. And then we say, well, it's vibrational. And you're like, well, I don't see it. And we're like, well, it's vibrational. It's here. And you're like, well, I don't see it. And we're like, that's why you don't see it. You have to look where it is. You have to tune to it. You have to feel for it. You can't see it with your eye yet, but you see, everything is a translation of vibration. So what you're translating with your emotions is just as good as seeing it. You see, when you doubt a manifestation, your job isn't to now go out and do action to fix that belief, because that's what people are doing. They're like, okay, I don't feel good about my body, so let me do something that makes me feel better about it. But we're like, that's going the hard way about it. If you're not feeling good about your body, your job is to take this vibrational journey, because there is this gap between where you are and where you want to be, but it's not a physical gap. You wanting your desirable body is not about you going out right now and, you know, getting the best diet plan out there or following the best regime. Really, it's about you feeling how your body would feel, or you feeling better about your body right now. That's what it right there. You in your now moment, because this moment is powerful. You're gonna feel better about where you are right now. You're gonna feel better right now, because think about it. That's the only thing that you can have right now. The only thing that you can have right now is an improved emotion, and yet that is all you need. Because when you have an improved emotion, that's your evidence of shifted vibration. You shifted your vibration. You shifted your point of attraction. So now, what law of attraction is going to give you is going to reflect that change, and the details are going to fill in. You have to stick to this grid, because the grid is, because you know what's interesting is that you let the grid fill in, because you're like, okay, I get it, I understand. You're like, I get it, Taurus. I'm gonna let my grid fill in, and then you let the grid fill in, and then you're like, wow, where's all my results? And we're like, well, what type of grid are you practicing now? That's the thing, is that you're always practicing a grid, and we love you humans, but you love being objective, and being objective is not bad, because that's what eternity is about. But don't be so objective all the time. Be more imaginative, be more subjective to your own vortex, subjective to your own feeling good, because this is all about feeling good. You know, how you feel right now and how you'll feel after your manifestation is here is literally congruent. It's the same. And we want you to really get that wrapped around in your head, because it's all for feeling. So we're going to talk to you right now about the physics of all of this, because when we say something is here right now, what do we really mean? We mean that right now it's vibrationally here. You can't see it with your eye because it hasn't matured, but it's vibrationally here. You can feel it. And everything that you want is for the feeling anyways. So what does that really mean? What that really means is when you feel good about your desire, you're not just feeling good. Feeling good is not a nebulous thing. Feeling emotion is you truly translating vibrations into something that you can feel. You know the feeling of butterflies? You know that feeling when you feel fear? Well, fear is not something that you can see yet, but yet it's still something that you can feel. It's a translation. Your emotions are real. You can translate them. And so if you can translate here's the thing, is that it's like that stick that we were talking about. It's like the absence of your desires on one side of the stick, and the presence of your desires on the other side of the stick. So it's like, which side of the stick are you on? And that's the thing, is that life is showing you what side of the stick you're on. Life is showing you what your most dominant vibration is, or your belief. And so the work is to shift how you feel, because when what you want is here, it's right to say that what I want is here. I am this right now, because it's true. You are it right now. And that's what negative emotion is about. Because when you feel negative emotion, that's literally your inner being saying, no, you have this. You do have this. And so there you go. Now your inner being is literally helping you through the guidance of your emotions to help you build, or help you establish this vibrational grid that will now be filled in. So when something what you want is here right now, it's here right now vibrationally, it's here emotionally. So when you understand your guidance system, and you understand that on the other side of your guidance system is your inner being who has everything that you want, because we're not even kidding. When you want something, source becomes the equivalent of it. So every time you match your inner being, you are now one with everything you put in the vortex. And we're like, talk about guidance, talk about a true friend, talk about true empowerment. So anytime you feel good, whether it's about the weather, whether it's about something so completely random, you're right there in the vortex. That's the thing. The only way to get into the vortex is to feel good, and you can feel good on any single subject. That's the thing. Don't take your problem and try to fix it and make that the reason why you go into the vortex. Don't focus on your problems. Go into the vortex in the easiest way you can, because your work is connection. Your work is to feel good, because when you feel good, you're connected. So we're gonna go at it again. So here's the thing, what you want is here right now. It's here in the emotional sense, and since everything that you want is for the feeling anyways, when you feel good about your desire, you're there. When you talk about why you want it, when you let your grid fill in, and you're just like, the ideas start pumping through, and you feel that clicking in, and the ideas, the grid literally fills in. That's it. You did it. You have your desire now. But someone will be like, but it's not here physically yet. And we're like, but it will be physically here, because the physical manifestation is not the full enchilada. It really isn't. It's this now moment where all of your powers, where all of your satisfaction factors, it's about now. So this now moment has the power to yield to you so much more than you're allowing, because you're still waiting for the physical version of your desire. We're saying that the physical version is going to come fast. When the physical version comes, it comes so fast. And it comes so fast that by the time you have it, by the time it's in your possession, in your life, in your bank account, you're just like, true. Like, the journey was more fun, because now it's here, now more, and that's eternity. But we're trying to get you in love with the journey, because if we can get you to love or reach for or understand that your real work is just improved emotion. You don't really need to go out right now and get a new job, because you don't really need to do that, because we know that if you can shift how you feel right now, even in that little bit of work, you shifted your whole point of attraction. And if you continue on that path, you literally will see a difference. But the first difference you see is your emotion. But when you understand that the first sign of your manifestation is emotion, then you're like, well, I am this. I know I'm gonna have it. That's what knowledge is, because there's this emotional scale, right? And there are many degrees of your ability to feel where you can be there. Your set points can be anywhere along your this emotional scale. So imagine you want something, right? So you're doubting it. So doubting it feels like, well, I can't have it. I don't see a way. And then you doubt it. And then above doubt is hope. You hope. You're like, I just wish I could have it. I want to have it. It would be so nice to have it. And if you can hope, you're pretty much leaning into the vortex. You're leaning into the higher realms, the higher frequencies, because when you're hoping, you're talking more about what you want instead of what you don't want. But the what you don't want is still there. There's a lot of resistance in hope, but it's less than doubting. So now on your way to hope, after you really talk about hope, now you're going to belief. And belief is like, I will have it. I understand that I can have it. I will have it. But still there's a little bit of resistance, but it's a little bit less, prominent as it was in hope. So now you're like, okay, I'm in belief. I will have it. And then you're like, and then after belief is knowing. You're like, I am it. It is me. All you have to do is acknowledge that your desire is vibrationally here right now. It's in the vortex. It's done. It's a real reality that you can tune in. And then the second step is you viscerally feel it. You feel the clarity of it. You feel the ease of it. You feel the fun of it. You feel the joy of it. You reach for it and you feel for it. You can't see it yet. You're reaching for it in the state that it is right now, and it's enough, because the joy is what you're really looking for. The ease of this money, the ease of the career, the ease of the YouTube channel, the ease of the singing career is what you're really looking for right now. It's that feeling. The feeling is what you're looking for, because the feeling is what you truly want. So since you really have that right now, you move on to step 3, which is I am it. You are it. You know it. I am it. It is me. We are one. We're together in this now moment. And then law of attraction is like, well, that's who you are, so we're gonna give it to you. You see, this workshop is all about a deliberate and productive utilization of the laws of the universe. Because look around, there are so many people who are so successful, and the way that all of them did it was that they established a grid. They established a steady grid, and they let details fill in to the point where the details filling into the grid were just so obvious. It was impulses. Listen to all the artists out there. They were just chilling one day, and then boom, the idea came. They wrote the hit song in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, because they were doing something before the music came. They're being hopeful. They're getting that grid started. And so don't take score of reality too soon, because remember, before you see any evidence of your desire, it's still 99% completed. And we'll say that one more time. Your desire is 99% vibration completed. Your empire, the books, the fame, everything that you want, your money, your vibrational fortune, this big ass fortune that you have, it's all 99% completed vibrationally before anything is ever seen, before any contract is signed, before any dollar hits your bank account, before any view is on your channel. Everything is vibrationally already completed. But if you're physically oriented, then you are going to look around and look for evidence, and you're going to be confused, because you're going to be like, well, none of this worked because I don't see any evidence. And we're saying, don't take score yet. Don't take score of reality just yet. It's too soon to take score, because the vibration still needs to become turned into things. And the more that you look around, the more you literally practice the vibration, and you practice this grid of not being able to see your desire. So you have this vibration of guardedness, of frustration going on, and that grid continues to fill in. And since that's what you're seeing most of the time, that's what you're focusing most of the time, and that's your dominant vibration. And remember, law of attraction will give you your dominant vibration over and over again. It will show it to you. How you feel and what you get is always a match. That's literally the law of attraction for you in a nutshell. How you feel and what you get is a match. So imagine changing how you feel. And changing how you feel is so easy, because you just gotta go general. You gotta go general, because when you're feeling sad, that's not the time to be like, oh, I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling so good, because it's not true. You're lying. You're not lying, but you're not really being true to how you are, because you think it's about words, but we're not trying to get you to say pretty words, because law of attraction doesn't hear your words. It hears how you feel. It responds to how you're truly feeling, the vibrational essence of your emanation, of your signal. So you can clear your signal. You're just gonna get better at this, because you want the knowledge is, because where knowledge comes from is thinking a thought and then seeing how it plays out, and then it plays out in a way that you want, and then you're like, wait, I'm in on this because I know how I did that, so I can do it over and over again. Because once you make one thing happen, then you know the formula, because a button and a castle are the same energy. Everything requires the same energy, but it's all about your resistance factor. It's all about your belief factor. It's all about your ability to be on that emotional scale. Are you doubting? Are you believing? Or are you knowing? Are you just like, I am it right now? Means this desire, we are it right now. Because I already vibrationally have it. I feel this emotion. I feel this desire. So I know I have it. I am it right now in this now moment. So I don't need to look for it, because when you're looking for something that's lost, you can never find it. But when you practice the feeling of it being found, and when you practice the presence of it, we're not even kidding. You have to literally see your desire as real, because it is real, a real reality. It's not being delusional, because a creator is not delusional. A creator creates. A creator molds the clay. The creator understands the laws of the universe and uses them to their advantage, because this is not about being delusional. This is about you having this vortex, and about you having to catch up with this vortex. You have to be the version that source is. You have to be that version of you, because it already exists and your emotions are tied to it. And if you ever plan on feeling good, then you have to match up to it with it. And when you finally reemerge back into your body, when you have your death experience, then your inner being is going to win. Then you're finally going to be like, wow, you're right, I did have it all along. I had it all along, because you will have released all that resistance when you leave your body. Or we know you can release that resistance right now. You don't really need to wait. You don't need to wait. You don't need time. You don't even need patience. All you need is a steady grid. All you need is a desire to feel good. And when you feel good, when you're taking score of how good you feel and how much fun you're having, then life for you is a hoot. You're having a good time. And not only is it the party that you always knew it was going to be, but you're having so much fun along the way.